stay safe. From KCRG TV9, this is First Alert Weather Now.
Good evening and welcome to the Thursday evening edition of First Alert Weather Now. I'm meteorologist Thompson.
I'm meteorologist Rickman.
And we're dealing with less to worry about tonight compared to what we saw last night at this same time. Snow is still falling pretty briskly, but it is very cold out there already.
Yes, temperatures have been falling. Of course, having that snow on the ground helps keep temperatures cooler during the day and especially at night. And that's what we're going to see for at least the first half of the night as temperatures fall, and they fall very quickly.
Yeah, but then we're going to reverse that trend with another storm system coming. We'll have all the details on what you can expect with that one in just a little bit. But first, what you need to know as you step outside this evening, again, is that very cold weather that we are seeing already. Temperatures have fallen below zero. And then Friday is when that snow kicks back in. Could be some slick roads just in time for your Valentine's Day date. And then Saturday brings another potential sort of second part of this round of this storm system with a bit more snow looking like a possibility. Now, after that, thought it was cold now. It's going to be even colder as we head into next week. A Arctic air mass moves in and just kind of hangs around. Now, compared to this same time yesterday, our temperatures are around 10 to 20 degrees colder in most places. Western Iowa, though, if you look to the far left side of your screen, a little bit of yellow showing up there. That is indicative of warming air. Those temperatures turning the other direction as southerly winds begin to kick in. Here's a view from our Dubuque City Cam, also a view from our Solon City Cam where the sun has set and temperatures have fallen to 3 degrees. It's 2 below in Cedar Rapids, and those winds, though light out of the south, pushing those wind chills even lower. Now our temperatures will continue to fall for a few more hours here as we head toward around midnight, but then they'll start to rebound as they get back above zero close to daybreak tomorrow, and that will give us a fairly relatively warm start. Otherwise, though, things are quiet right now around eastern Iowa, but that will be changing. Clouds build later tonight too as those temperatures begin to warm. Meteorologist Rickman has the latest on what's changing and what will bring some more wintry weather into the weekend.
Now, your First Alert forecast with meteorologist Rickman.
And like Corey mentioned, we are going to see a good bit of change in our weather, especially over the next 24 hours. The biggest thing we're going to be watching for is snow. That's going to be moving in not for a while. We're going to go through the night tonight and much of your day on Friday without any issue. But once we get into your Friday afternoon, snow is going to be moving in. It's going to create travel issues as we get into your Friday afternoon and then your Friday evening as well. Other than that, we are keeping an eye on some windy conditions that will be picking up as we get into your Friday. And that's going to help usher in warmer and more moist air to help fuel some of that snowfall as we do have those southerly winds kicking in. And then cold conditions through the night tonight. We do see those temperatures warm, like Corey mentioned, through the night tonight and then through your day on Friday as well. For those of you who are hoping for bitterly cold air, don't worry. We have more than enough of that on the way once we get into next week. For tonight, here is that next system that's going to be bringing us snow as we get into Friday, and we're going to start to see southerly winds kick in as this area of high pressure slides off to our east, and as it does so, air flows clockwise around high pressure systems, and that's going to pull warm air up from the south and, like I mentioned, a little more moisture as well. Lows tonight fall into the single digits below zero. And again, we'll be hitting these lows right around that midnight hour. Clouds will be increasing late as southerly winds bring in more moisture and warmer temperatures. Temperatures should be close to or just a degree or two above zero by the time we get to daybreak on Friday. From there, temperatures continue to climb into the 20s and lower 30s by the time we get to your Friday afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies. Snow is going to be moving in as we get into your Friday afternoon, and it's going to be a fairly complex system that's moving through with a couple of different chances and waves of precipitation as we go through the end of the week and into the weekend. By Friday morning, we're starting to see that cloud cover work its way in. Partly cloudy skies, mostly cloudy by the time we get to your Friday afternoon. And here comes that first push of snow once we get to Friday afternoon and evening. Right there, your 5 o'clock commute. A band of snow is expected to move across the area, and this could be heavy at times, but it's also fast moving. By the time we get to 7 p.m., it's moving into our far northern and eastern counties, and then out of our area by the time we get to 11 as another push of snow moves into our far northern counties, especially along and north of Highway 20. We get a bit of a break, and then as we get into early Saturday morning, the next batch of snow moves in. This one will be watching for that scattered activity to continue as we go through your Saturday morning, into your Saturday afternoon, and then into your Saturday evening as well. Some of our far southern areas during the day Saturday could see a little bit of a wintry mix with some sleet or freezing rain mixing in at times, but then everybody switches over to snow by Saturday night as cold air pushes back in, and by Sunday morning we are looking at drying conditions, but still the chance for a few scattered flurries before things eventually wind down for good by the time we get to your Sunday. So in terms of snowfall amounts, we are looking at generally a trace to 2 inches south of Interstate 80, a pretty large swath of 2 to 4 inches from Cedar Rapids to Waterloo to Fayette. Potential for some locally higher amounts in our northern areas, especially our northern and eastern areas. But again, this is a very complex system, a little bit of uncertainty in the forecast because of that. So stay tuned for updates over the next couple of days. And in the immediate, be ready for those travel impacts as we get into your Valentine's Day. Beyond that, we are going to be watching for some very cold air to be working its way in. Temperatures will be falling well below average as we go over the course of the next 10 days. So for those who were wondering where winter's been, well, it's been hiding. It's been hiding in the month of February, and here it is. We'll be dealing with bitterly cold air, fresh snow on the ground. That's going to help temperatures fall even more. So there will be plenty of winter to go around. Now, as we go into the upcoming weekend, that snow is going to have a bit of an impact on your plans. So if you do have any questions about what that might mean for your plans in terms of the weather, we have Joe Winters with your forecast for fun.
Cold conditions, snowy conditions may affect some of your plans as we move through the end of the week and the weekend. Your walking forecast, 27 degrees on Friday, 30 on Saturday. Both those do feature some snow. Walk early on Friday morning. You don't have to worry about it. Saturday, scattered snow chances here and there. It looks quiet on Sunday with a partly cloudy to mostly sunny sky, but it's going to be cold. 9, but take a look at the northwest winds at 20 to 30. That'll produce some very cold wind chills if you're out doing a walk. Galentine's Day, that happens from 6 to 9, so going on right now. You can still get in on it. It goes until 9 o'clock. We're talking about a Friends-themed trivia night. That's over the Central Furniture Store. Temperatures are certainly cold. The creative class at Nubo City Market allows you to make your own Valentine's Day jewelry appropriately enough. On Valentine's Day, 4 to 7 o'clock, watch to see if there is some snow in the area. Better chance off to the north and east, but that possibility also in the Nubo area, 27 degrees as the day progresses. Now, C is for cookie on Friday as well, and from 6 to 7:30 on Valentine's Day, you can decorate some cookies. That would be nice to bring your romance. 27 degrees. That's on Friday, again with some possibility of some scattered areas of showers as far as snow showers. All going to be snow. It's cold. Iowa State men's basketball, that comes up on Saturday. Also features scattered snow showers. Cincinnati in town at Ames. That's a tip-off at 3 p.m. So as you can see, there's a lot going on this time in February in your forecast for fun.
And February has now about rounded the corner. 14th, of course, Valentine's Day is the midway point of the month.
Indeed, yes, shortest month of the year. Of course, they all have 28 days, but February only has 28 days. And we also did just have a good round of snow come through. I'm sure a lot of folks are probably wondering how much we got across the area.
Yeah, and we'll take a look at where we stand so far in the month with today's edition of the Grower's Guide.
It was a rather moisture-rich week for us here in eastern Iowa with plenty of snowfall. And as we take to your Grower's Guide, we'll take a look at some graphics. And we're featuring some of those, snowy graphics out there. But we begin with the sunshine as we started the day with sunrise just after 7 o'clock this morning. Sunset just after 5:30. Amount of daylight now, we're at 10 hours, 30 minutes and 12 seconds. Gained 2 minutes and 34 seconds from yesterday. Average monthly snowfall finally starting to tally some marks here in this column. Take a look at some of those numbers. Let's start with snowfall reports yesterday. I know you've seen it a lot, but we love showing you how much we had. Now, not as much across north and east Iowa, anywhere from 1.5 inches to 3 inches. But then you move down towards the Highway 20 corridor. Numbers ranging anywhere from 3 to almost 7 inches of snow around the Dubuque area. Anamosa, 9. Hiawatha, 8. 7.5. Cedar Rapids. Numbers ranged from 7.5 to 9 inches of snow. Off towards the Bertram area, 7. Solon, 8.5. Oakdale, 7. Certainly more of that heavier snow as the further south we went. North English and Sigourney at 9. Riverside at 6. And here are some of the other ones we want to put for you. You see Loudon was the big winner, 11.5 inches of snow. Marion, Anamosa at 9 or above. 8 North Liberty. Cedar Rapids average about 7.5 plus. Page 2 featuring just over the 7-inch mark in Hiawatha, just under the 7-inch mark, Dubuque and Sutcliffe and Solon. Hazelton up in northeast Iowa, Buchanan County, just shy of 4 inches. So That means colder weather, and you can certainly see that. Our temps took a dive last night and we have been well below normal. We look to stay there. Look at our overall averages. We're right now in the lower 30s, working our way to the upper 30s for normal highs. Normal lows anywhere from 12 to 21. We've certainly shattered those numbers. Take a look back at the last few days here as we wind our way towards the midpoint of the month. Teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s for average highs, at least what we've recorded so far this month. Our low temperatures ranging from the 20s to the teens to, well, we have not yet officially recorded our morning temps this morning, but we got as low as single digits below zero. It's been a breezy month for us as well. 20 to 30 mile an hour winds not out of the norm. So when we add up all the moisture, what does it get us? Well, it gets us precipitation that's been on the low side in the last couple of days. As we update these maps and graphics for next week, you'll certainly see that change. Last week's drought monitor had us well in the dry category. Not much of a change at all for this week. So what do we look forward to? Well, as we come back out on camera, we look forward to more rainy, snowy weather, primarily snowy because it's colder, and maybe we'll improve that drought monitor a bit. We'll wait and see with next week's Grower's Guide. In the meantime, waiting for more snow. We'll send it back to you.
And we are keeping an eye on the spring flooding situation. The National Weather Service issued their first spring flood outlook of the season. No surprise, it does feature below normal chances for flooding as we head over the next few months. Now, this does include the Mississippi River as well as those major tributaries like the Cedar, the Iowa, and pretty much every other river you can think of around eastern Iowa, as conditions are still favorable for things to not get too out of hand. Precipitation has been below normal. Snowpack to the north, also not hugely worrisome, according to the National Weather Service, in terms of melting and sending a big rush of water downstream. And overall, we're keeping things fairly reasonable looking ahead, at least based on our latest longer-term climate outlooks. Now, a view from our Cassville City Cam on Monday during the daytime hours before the snow fell kind of gives an illustration. You see that stretch of rocks along the right side of your screen. That's the typical sort of edge of the water on the Mississippi River, where the ice is significantly below that. So we're starting from a very low point across most of the rivers and streams around eastern Iowa, and so we can take the water at this point even on top of the snow that we just got. That got included in this flood outlook. Now here's some percentages. The chances of hitting minor flooding based on history and the Iowa River at Marengo is about 71%. That's up or back behind the Coralville Dam, and so they often run into flooding issues because of that. But this year it's only 53%, about a coin flip. Cedar River at Cedar Rapids, about a third of the time you might hit minor flooding in the spring. This year, 13% chance. Wapsie River up at Anamosa, 23% chance, and we are only in the teens for a chance there too. Mississippi River at Dubuque, again, it's usually about a coin flip, but this time just 30% risk of seeing minor flooding there. Now, it's not the last flood outlook of the spring. Obviously, conditions change as we go forward. Next one's in 2 weeks, and then we've got another one 2 weeks after that. And of course, we'll bring you the latest information as we have it.
And breaking down our 9-day forecast, we are going to be dealing with some more snow, of course, in the forecast as we get into your Valentine's Day, especially afternoon and evening hours. And then again, the chance for some off and on light scattered snow showers on Saturday that could eventually tally up to a couple of inches. But again, we'll be watching for those snow showers to come and go as the day progresses. Things do wind down on Sunday, but you'll notice temperatures will be falling. Part of the reason for that is we're going to be seeing our winds pick up out of the north. Friday, they're out of the south. That's what brings us that milder air, warms our temperatures up from where they are now. But then that change in wind direction comes as we get into Saturday and Sunday, more northerly, gusty, especially on Sunday. And that is what's going to cause our temperatures to fall, and they fall fast. Highs are only 9 degrees on Sunday. By the time we get to next week, highs in the single digits, lows double digits below zero, single digits below zero Tuesday night. So we are going to be dealing with an extended stretch of some cold weather. Now, looking beyond our 9-day forecast at our temperature specifically, we're going to be watching for about a 50-50 shot at seeing above or below average temperatures in eastern Iowa, perhaps just a little bit cooler than average. So that's a trend we'll be watching for. One thing that's going to be a very noticeable change, however, looking at a drier trend. Now again, this is for the February 20th to 26th timeline, so that's getting to the end of our 9-day and beyond that time period. Still a ways out to know anything with regards to exact high and low temperatures, what we're looking at as far as precipitation and what days it would fall. But we did go through a very cold and active period, and we're still in the middle of it now. But then as we go through towards the end of February, it'll be interesting to see what all those trends add up to and what they bring us.
Yes, it will, and we will, of course, be keeping an eye on it as we head through the second half of the month and as we head into the weekend, too. One more edition of First Alert Weather Now this week, tomorrow night, same time and place. Thanks for joining us tonight, and have a good night.